Well, hello. I guess there's several of you out there that wondered what's happened to me. I haven't been around in many months, at least as far as doing a new video, but I am still here, alive and kicking, and just wanted to do this video to try to get back and pick up where we left off several months ago. I don't even know how many months it's been, but if I remember correctly, I left off where I was trying to show people how they could get into 3D printing for under $200. And I showed you where I went online and purchased two printers, an Ender 3 and a Voxlab something. Anyway, two that I found on eBay. They were both, I believe, under $150. And then I also showed you where I purchased some filament. All of that came under $200. So I promised that I would show you the printers, assemble them, start printing with them, show you how you can get started, show you how you can get the software that you need free. Here are the two printers that I received, the Ender 3 and the Voxlab printer that I showed you that I found on eBay. So what I'm going to do, I haven't even opened them yet. They've been sitting here for many months. But I'm going to go ahead and I'll open them up one at a time, assemble them here on the table, and then we'll put some filament in them and start printing. And we'll also go over here and we'll create a print file using a free software, 3D CAD software package that you can get. Matter of fact, I still have it on my computer. It's the first one I ever used. It's called Autodesk 123D Design. I got started with that and was able to do a lot. The Cura software comes with the printers normally on the little chip that comes with them. So we'll show you how to load the Cura and use it. And those are the only two softwares you have to have. You have to use the 3D design software to actually draw the image, 3D image of whatever it is you want to 3D print. And then you have to save it as an STL file and put that in your slicer software. Set some parameters like the temperatures you want to print at, and you have to do that depending on the filament you're using and so forth. We'll go over that, and then once you slice it, it ends up in a G-code format, and you put that G-code file on your little chip, plug it in your printer, and select that file to print, and away we go. Of course, there are a few other little things involved there. Things like making sure that the printer is set up correctly. You have your zero offset and everything's ready to go on the printer. And when we assemble these printers and test them out, I'll go through that. But I promise you, if an old man, now I'm an old man now, I was 73 when I started this stuff and had to learn all of this from scratch, but I'm 77 now, and still, of course now, gosh, I've done it so many times, all of this stuff comes automatic to me. But it's really simple to get started. So believe me, if an old man can do it, you younger guys definitely can, and you other old men out there too, get off your butt and try it. You'll be surprised what you can do. The best thing about it is being able to create something and 3D print it. Years ago, I imagined different things that would make things easier. For example, right here, this is one of the things that I make with NTI. And we 3D print this little stand and have a clamp here that will hold parts and so forth. And we also use it for our flex arm LEDs just plug into a 12-volt power source, and as you can see, we can work. And what I use them for is when I'm working on stuff, I can have light where I need it, and if I'm soldering or something especially, I can see what I'm doing. So these are the kind of these are the kind of ideas that I used to come up with, and I had no way to make parts that I needed. So when I found out about 3D printing, that's when I started trying to do different things. And now I make all kinds of parts. I make parts for different businesses that I've somehow or another came in contact with, or they found out about me and wanted to know if I could make some parts for them, and we designed them and everything, and have made thousands of parts for specific customers, as well as making parts like these and others that we sell on our website. So you can get started. It's a great opportunity. Be honest, I'm 77 years old. I'm retired, or I'm supposed to be retired, and last thing I need right now is to have another business that I have to work at all the time. So that goes to the next point. I think in some of the previous videos I mentioned to you that I'm not trying to grow this business at this point. I'm trying to keep things mild so that I have the freedom to do some other things. A bit over a year ago I got into RVing, and I think I showed you a 30-foot travel trailer that I purchased, and my wife and I went on a few trips in that, and we liked it so much that I ended up getting a fifth wheel, a 40-foot fifth wheel RV trailer, and ended up getting a new Chevy Silverado truck 2500 diesel, so I could pull this big thing around. And about a month and a half ago, we got back from a 42-day trip that we made out west. We went from Chattanooga, Tennessee, up through Kentucky, to St. Louis, Kansas City, up to Sioux Falls, South Dakota, over to Wyoming, Mount Rushmore, Devil's Tower, Wyoming, Little Bighorn, Yellowstone, then went down through Utah, Salt Lake City, and to Grand Junction, Colorado, Arches National Park, Zion National Park, Bryce Canyon, went to the Grand Canyon. So we went a lot of places, came back through Texas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. So we've been all over the place, and we really love it a lot. So believe it or not, now I'm in the process of getting rid of that truck and fifth wheel RV, and we're stepping up to a motor home because we know we enjoy being out there together. We've got 2 little dogs. They go with us everywhere. We have a ball. So without getting into it any farther, that's the explanation for me not doing videos lately. I've been on the road. It's winter time. We don't have too much planned. We might go down to Key West or something in February if we can find a place down there, an RV park that has a slot we can get into for a couple weeks. But if not, we'll probably just stay here all winter. And I'll be able to do a little bit more with the 3D printing and hopefully get some more videos out show you what I'm up to. I'm down here at the print farm, and I've got a few printers going, printing some different odd and end parts and so forth. No real big jobs going this week. Another thing I wanted to talk about was the whole purpose of starting the YouTube channel, if you go back and look from the very beginning, was just to show everybody else and show other people thinking about getting into it how I got into it and the different obstacles that I came across and how I overcame them and so forth. And also along the way I developed a lot of products that work with 3D printing, and we ended up putting those on the website too. But let me just show you a little bit, because I've noticed on the channel that we're getting a lot of new subscribers, people coming and looking at some of the videos and being interested enough in what I was saying and doing that they were willing to subscribe. So without doing any videos and seeing my subscribers going up, I thought, well, let's do a video and let's give those people a little bit of information about some of the things that I've done. One of, I think, my highest rated videos was one I did about this print room when I decided I was going to create a print farm, because if I was going to be making products and trying to sell them, I knew that I needed the capacity to print large quantities of parts. So the first thing I wanted to do was create that capacity and that capability, and that was the print farm. And I purchased, these are my original printers. These are ANET ET4 printers. I don't even know if you can find them now out there. There may be some for sale. But these printers are still here for a reason. They don't quit. I mean, yeah, they have problems. They have belts that come off and I've got to fix those. Something that breaks on them, or a hot end goes bad or whatever. But in general, they just keep on printing whatever the parts are that I'm running, and they've done a real good job for me. And in addition to these, I also have some larger format printers, and these are the A8s, and they print higher volume stuff because I can print so many parts on them. And if you look here, this is my battery backup system for them, where I can actually run those printers and not be concerned about a temporary power failure. Now you can have a generator, and I have a Generac now generator that will kick in, but it takes several seconds for it to start. And what happens on these older printers, they don't have an automatic restart. When they stop, they stay stopped. And so what I did, I came up with the system that when the power fails, it switches to backup 24 volts of battery backup, and it switches to it instantly. So there's no interruption. The printers just keep printing. And then when the power comes back on, or the generator kicks in, then it will go back to the house power here. So that is mainly for my larger format printers, because when I'm printing on those, I'm usually printing either some extremely large parts or a large quantity at one time. And even though I'm running a 0.8 millimeter nozzle on those larger printers, it still takes me 24 hours or more to print some of those large jobs. The biggest money maker for me, since I don't advertise products and sell them online at a large volume because I really don't need the hassle, and unfortunately my grandson doesn't have he's still going to college and helping me, but he just doesn't have the interest in getting into a business and taking something like this under his wing at this time. So I'm kind of leaning more toward jobs where, for some of these companies that have parts that I make for them, I can set up several printers to run those jobs when they have an order come in, and I can run a lot of printers. I've got about 60 in this room now that are capable of running, and about another 15 or so up at the house that I can run. I know I have over 100 3D printers now in all, but can't run them all at one time. But the maintenance on them, I do try to keep up with that. I would say right now I probably have no more than about 5 or 6 printers that need maintenance to be able to print and run a job. I'm going to get the camera set up, and I'm going to come down here on a day when I have a little more time, because I would like to have enough time to assemble both of them and run them through their test all in one video, and also have it so that you can see how long it takes to do those things, especially for the people out there that may be thinking about getting into 3D printing. And I understand, I had a fear of, gosh, I don't know anything about the mechanics of the 3D printer, but I guarantee you when you get one and assemble it and go through the test procedures, you learn a lot. And then once you start playing around with the software, and I guarantee you I can show you how to create a 3D image. It may be very simple, like a little square block with a round ball sitting on top of it, but I can show you how you can create something like that in just a matter of minutes, and then slice it and create your print file in a matter of minutes and get it into the printer and have it start printing. Now, the Ender 3 that I have that we're going to be assembling, I have some of those Ender 3 printers, and I've printed a lot of parts on them, so I know about what to expect with that one. But the Voxlab printer, I don't know. It was just a good price. It looked like it had all the requirements that someone would want in an entry-level printer. So we'll put it together and we'll run it against the Ender 3 and see how they both compare. And there may be some other printers out there on eBay now that you can find that are still under $150, besides these two, if they're even still out there, that you could use. But we'll get into all of that, and I want to do that. But today I think I just wanted to bring everybody up to speed and give you a few ideas of what I'm thinking. And also I wanted to thank the new subscribers from joining, and I wanted to recognize you and find out what would you like to see if there's some specific things. I've always responded to my comments. However, haven't been doing it in a long time, but whenever I start making these videos, and hopefully I'll get this video up and I'll get it edited and I'll get it posted and get it out there. And if I do that, then you can pretty much count on me following up with the assembly of these two printers and the process that I talked about, because that's something I promised months ago, and do that. And I'll also get caught up on my comments, responding to them. So if there's anything that anyone new out there, or even some of the old guys, a bunch of you guys that have been with me for years, drop a comment. Let me know you're still out there. So thanks everybody for staying with me, and thank you for you guys that just recently joined in. And I'll get this video up, edited, downloaded, and we'll take it from there. So until the next time, happy printing.